We don't just multiply for the sake of multiplying. We multiply because there's people on the other side of our yes that are waiting because they also need what we have or what we can impart into them or what we can give them or share with them or guide them to or show them what's possible.
And if you're listening to this, I want you to know that there's people waiting on the other side of your yes. If there's something that you've been thinking about or dreaming about, stop holding back. Like, fortune favors the bold. Jesus didn't die on the cross for us just to get to heaven one day. Yes, he did die that we can get to heaven one day and live with him, but he died to set us free. And so many of us don't understand or are not walking in the authority that he died to give us.
You were created to live abundantly and multiply in every area of your life. But let's be honest, the road isn't always easy.
We know that firsthand. We've been through highs and lows, from losing everything to now managing an investment fund, and we're still on the journey.
This podcast isn't about having it all figured out. It's about real stories, kingdom principles, and trusting God with what's already in your hands.
On Mandate to Multiply, we go deep into faith, family, finances, and other topics, sharing what we've learned and what we're still learning as we walk it out with Jesus.
If you're ready to think bigger, live boldly, and multiply what matters most,
then you're in the right place. We're Jonathan and Melissa Edmiston, and this is Mandate to Multiply.
Welcome to another episode of the Mandate to Multiply podcast. I am one of your hosts, Melissa Edmiston.
And I'm the other host, Jonathan Edmiston.
Yeah, we're coming to you live today from West Palm Beach, Florida. We're recording in our hotel room and we just really kind of wanted to share with you guys real time where we're at, the story that's taking place, what we're learning, and just really bring you in a real life behind the scenes while it's taking place and just give you a little sneak peek of what we're walking through right now and what we're really learning. So
yeah, one of the great things about podcasts and doing this is that we're documenting the journey for our children and bringing some of you guys along with us. And it's real, it's raw, it's happening now. And one of the keys that we'll talk about today is the ability to be flexible, because I heard one time, you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans.
Yeah.
And we have experienced that over and over again in our lives.
Sure.
And here we are.
Yeah. So one of the reasons we're here is I'm going to give a little shout out and plug to my friend Angela Ball. Angela runs an organization called Hearts for Moms in West Palm Beach and really this entire area for single moms and their children. And the organization specifically doesn't just give them handouts, but enables them through their programs, helps these single moms who come in broken, lost, a lot of them with maybe mental health stuff, or for sure a lot of them come in with just extreme financial strain and they just need help, but they don't just want a handout. They want to change their entire lives and the lives of their children. And so what Angela's programs does, what Hearts for Moms does, is they have actual programs, 12 months, 2 years. Moms are in from level to level, phases to phases. They help them learn to manage their money, they get therapy, they learn how to manage a job and go back to school and parent. And I mean, it's just such an extensive, detailed program. I just highly encourage you to go in and just check out Hearts for Moms. I love everything that they're doing and the amount of moms. When I remember 2 years ago, they had a waiting list of over 200 moms and their children. And I mean, some of these moms are were sleeping in tents in the woods with their kids.
Or sleeping in their cars or...
Right. And now, last night at the gala, we learned that there's a waiting list of over 1,200 moms.
Just in this local area.
Just here. Right? I think there should be a Hearts for Moms nationwide. I've been saying that for a couple of years, and I do believe it'll happen. But the way that this organization is running and being set up so that it can be multiplied and done in every part of the country. So anyways, we're here for a gala to support Angela and to support Hearts for Moms. We were not planning on being here. This was not on the radar. There was no plan to be here.
In fact, we said we can't make it happen. There's just too much going on. That we had a wedding in New Jersey, New York, and then just life and transition and all kinds of things going on.
Yeah, we're selling our house, and we're like, what if we have a showing? We need to be home. And, we had all the reasons why it just made no sense. We just traveled to New York, like Jonathan said. But what happened was about a week. It was a week ago, maybe less. We're just really bringing you guys into the honest, real deal here. I was chatting with one of my mentors, with Brooke Thomas, who is a friend and mentor, and just kind of telling her like where we're at, what we're walking through, just some of the challenges and things we're facing. And she's like, why don't you guys come to Florida? And I'm like, yeah, right. There's no way that's going to happen. She's like, it would be so good for you guys. You can go to the gala. There's a retreat taking place for this mastermind that I'm in with Brooke called Live Out Loud. And she's like, just come. It'll be so good for you and Jonathan. You'll go to the gala. You'll be at the retreat. You get filled and be around your favorite women. And I'm like, that sounds amazing, but also impossible. And first, to be honest with you, what I thought was Jonathan will never go for it. Like, it's going to be an absolute no in his mind because
I'm the no person in the relationship.
For sure. He's the first. He's a quick no, and I'm usually a quick yes.
Our kids don't even ask me anything because they know the answer is always no.
And I'm always like, you can't say no so fast. You have to like think about the things and
no.
Process it all. He's like, no. So of course, when Brooke said that, I'm like, there's no way, it's not going to happen. Jonathan's not going to go for it. But even still, it wasn't even something that like I really, really wanted and Jonathan's going to say no. It wasn't like that. Because really, for the most part, that's just not how we roll anyways. Like, we make decisions together. If I really want something, even if Jonathan doesn't want it, he always considers and listens to me even after his no. Because who knows that God put somebody who's a quick no with somebody who doesn't take no for an answer. And I'm like, oh yeah? Okay, challenge accepted.
That's a story for a different episode.
Yes. Okay, but the story here is that he didn't say no. So Brooke asked, I didn't think it was possible. I bring it up to Jonathan. I'm like, Brooke was saying this would kind of be really amazing for us. And it sounds great, but the boys, and it turns out they didn't have school that Friday. So long story short, after going back and forth, we were just open. And that's kind of where we kept for 2 days. We talked about it, we prayed about it, and neither one of us had I kept going like, God, give me a clear sign. Like, if you want us there, just make it so clear. And that wasn't happening. But I wasn't getting a clear closed door no either. So I was like, well, let's just follow the peace and let's just see what happens. And we just back and forth. And it started to feel more like a yes than a no.
In addition to that, we're in a huge season of transition with so many things going on in our lives. We decided to go on a 4-day water fast that started Monday night. Mm-hmm. And so in all of these conversations was in the middle of the water fast.
Yeah, we were right in the thick of a 4-day water fast. We don't tell people we're fasting while we're fasting for the most part, unless somehow they ask or it comes up. But I like to tell people after, just because, one, to remind people of the fact that Jesus tells us to pray and fast. And the power of fasting. And I've heard so many people like, I could never do that. And I'm like, yes, you can. Everybody can. Do we want to? No. Is our flesh weak? Yes. Should we? Absolutely. And so we were in the middle of that 4-day fast and just really like, okay, what's going on? And it started to kind of feel like a fun adventure. Like, wow, we could actually make this happen.
When we decided that we were going to go down the road to see if it was even going to be possible, we knew that everything would have to fall into line and mountains would have to move in order to make it happen. But there was something there were multiple things that were driving us to do it, and y'all don't judge us, but this year, both Melissa and I were having a really, really hard time celebrating Halloween. Mm-hmm. In the past, we've done the deal, we've dressed up, the kids dressed up, we've gone around trick-or-treating, and as we get closer to the Lord and just do more research on what Halloween is, it's something that we've really been struggling with because it's basically celebrating the devil. And when we are always pursuing Jesus and trying to draw closer to him and point people to him, how can we celebrate the devil while we're doing that? It just, oil and water don't mix. And we were just really torn and having this tension about what we do and the whole Halloween thing.
Yeah, we're still not 100%, but we do know, I will say this, and I'm sure anybody could agree on this. Over the years, Halloween has gotten way more gruesome, way more scary. I mean, I don't remember growing up as a child, people decorating their yards by having like fake dead bodies all over the front yard and graveyards.
And
like,
blood and bones and
I don't remember
craziness.
it being like that.
Witches and...
Right, like we're celebrating death. Think about that, right? And so it just started to become a little challenging for me. Now, the dressing up is fun, but it's just not sitting well with us. And so that's another conversation for another day. But the point is that we're like, well, this could mean that we'll leave for Halloween and be on the road, and it would be fun for the boys because we get to go to my mom's house to drop them off before we go to Palm Beach, which means fun little Halloween celebration at my mom's. So it just started to feel more and more like something we could do. And the reason we want to share this with you guys is because I think that there's a lot of times where, again, going back, we were water fasting because of a lot of things that we're seeking the Lord for, we're waiting on, where we don't know what's next in some areas. We were kind of going through some mindset stuff. There's just a lot of stuff that we're working out. I feel like God is growing us, and I feel like God is taking us to another level in our lives. And with that comes the work and the growing pains and the stuff that comes with it. And that's what we've kind of been walking in. And so when you're there, the key is not to stay there. And one of the ways we know to be true, and we're seeing it right now, real time, to get unstuck and to get out of something that you're working through and to get more clarity and to get your heart filled and your soul revived is to be around people. And to be around the right people and to be in community and to be around people that are for you and that you love. And that's not to say we don't have that in Wilmington. It's just we know for sure that the community that we're around right now, we've known that we've been in this community for 5 years, going on 5 years. And so it's just like, all right, you know what? We just need a change of scenery. We need to be around our people. We need to be in the right community. We need to go and be somewhere where it's like the Hearts for Moms Gala, like it wasn't about us. It was a good cause. We were pouring out, in a sense, to be there for Hearts for Moms and for Angela. And so the reason we share all this is like there's times where that's the case. It's like it was an invitation for us to step out and like, okay, God, like what do you want to do? What do you want to show us? And it has been in the last few days a really fun adventure for our family. So we decided, again, this was Monday night, the conversation started. And we made a final decision that Wednesday that we were coming to Palm Beach.
And we left the next day, Thursday.
And we left Thursday. Okay, so you're talking, and now this is a family of 5. You have 3 small kids. If you know, traveling with 3 small children and just getting the house ready to leave with them. And add to that, we have to leave our house show ready because we had a showing today. There's a showing happening in our house today. So it's like so many moving parts. But we did it. Monday night, thought, we're fasting. Wednesday make the decision. Thursday after school, get in the car and we start driving. We get to my mom's house, drop off the boys, and it's fun and everybody's so happy. Of course, my parents are thrilled because we're there to see them. They get to spend a couple days with the boys. And now Jonathan and I are here in West Palm Beach. And last night was the gala. We had such an incredible time. It was just everything our hearts needed. First, Jonathan and I being together. So that's another key, is like really making time and prioritizing your marriage, especially when you're just trying to like level up in your family and just everything's changing and growing and you want to be in really close alignment and really close unity. So we did that and here we are. And we just really wanted to get across to you guys, like just the power of community in multiplying every area in your life, the importance of it. Last night being in that room, I mean, we had great conversations, we were dancing, we were having so much fun. It was like everything we needed. And not only that, but just the way, of course, thanks to the 4-day water fast, that's like another note to say God has just something really shifted after that water fast. We really felt a shift. We felt like something kind of lifted off of us. And we just felt a really positive shift. And just hearing from the Lord, my time in the Word has just been so powerful. And yeah, here we are just walking it out still. We have another event this afternoon. And then tomorrow there's a retreat for the mastermind I'm in that, again, I was not supposed to be at. I've known this retreat was coming up. I was invited to it months ago. And when I saw how close it was to the wedding, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. And yet here we are on a full-blown adventure.
Yeah. And really the emphasis of this episode was the importance of the people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
And We have spent well over 6 figures on this mastermind for you over the past 4 years or so. One person that is in our lives said there's 2 ways to get in the room. You can either earn your way in or buy your way in.
Yeah.
And this particular mastermind, obviously you have to buy your way into it, but what you have received out of it is exponentially more than what it's cost to be involved with it. I made a post on social media the other day about the importance of masterminds and how much more valuable that they can be even than college or any type of formal training like that, because you're putting yourself in a room with people who are at your level, above your level, that can pour into you, that are doing the things that you want to do, that are living the lives that you want to live. And my grandfather told me many years ago, it's hard to soar with the eagles when you're running with the turkeys. Yeah. And it's a proven fact. You can kind of measure your life and where you're going and what you're going to be by the closest people to you. Yeah. And so many people surround themselves with people who are below them or maybe at their same level and are not challenging them to take that next step, to push yourself, like to stay in the comfort zone. But growth and multiplication doesn't happen in a comfort zone. It happens only as you step out in faith and as you be flexible and as you do the things that you're not comfortable doing and go on an adventure with God, even if it means jumping in the car after school, running away from Halloween, to be on a fun adventure and put yourself in a room. I mean, there was 450 people at the gala last night, yeah, and hundreds of thousands of dollars raised for this very important this work that they're doing here. And what I love about Hearts for Moms is that they're not giving a hand out; they're giving a hand up.
Right.
There's accountability that's given with the resources. Yeah. And it's not just here's some money that's going to get you along. It's like, here's some money, but also here's some training, here's some tools, here's some work. Let's make sure that you're putting in the work. And that's where I feel like our country, when I heard the stats about how many people, and this is, I'm not going to get too political with this because it's really daunting to think that the number of people that are living off of the SNAP and the EBT and all those types of things right now has doubled in the past 4 or 5 years. I mean, it's just, there should always be a safety net for temporary situations where people need help. That's not what we're saying. We want that in place. We want to live in a society that provides those things temporarily for people, but it shouldn't become a culture and a lifestyle and a permanent situation for multiple generations of people to live in this type of thing. That's not who we want to be. We want to give people the ability to rise above that level and give them the opportunities and the chances and the tools and accountability that they need in order to not have to do that, because it's just, I don't believe that that's thriving.
Which, like what you were saying, is why Hearts for Moms is so amazing. And I think the way that we should look at anything, any sort of service or anything that we're offering to help people, because I do believe nobody should sleep. No child should ever sleep in a tent. Nobody should ever sleep in a tent. Everybody should have their basic needs met. I don't want anybody to go hungry. But when you make it a system that people tend to rely on long term, now you have a problem because you're not really helping them. You're just enabling them to stay that way. I mean, and we could have an entire other episode about how you and I feel about this topic, because our families who came from other countries came with nothing and were handed nothing and were given nothing, have all made a very great lives for themselves and done extremely well. And I don't know if that would have been the case had they been given everything when they came here. Yeah. Which is why we love Hearts for Moms, because these moms are starting off one way. They are starting off needing all of the handouts, all of the services, which we love that they're able to provide. But the goal is to equip them and enable them to eventually, I mean, some of them have started their own businesses. They've become nurses. They've bought their own houses. And a lot of them no longer need the financial support. Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's the goal.
To help equip them to where they no longer need the support because they're able to build it and do it on our own. And not only Hearts for Moms, Hearts for Children. Like they had
Hearts for Kids,
a younger boy whose dream was to sing, and they paired him with a voice coach, and they were able to perform last night. And it was so beautiful to see, like, them giving this young man an opportunity and fulfilling his dream at such a young age. And who knows where that will lead him. But
again, it goes back to the importance of who you surround yourself with and the people that you have in your life. Because if these moms didn't find Hearts for Moms, if I didn't have the Live Out Loud community, if we wouldn't have come on this trip today, it's very easy to get stuck in isolation and in a spiral of shame. It's very easy to feel like there's no way out. It's very easy to stay complacent and content in something that is not the absolute best for you, because you're not around the right people and because you don't have the right people speaking into your life and pulling you up and calling you higher. And so that's why it's so important. One, who we spend our time with, who we invest in. Investing in something like a mastermind, you're ultimately saying, I am good soil. I am worthy of the investment because I know that I can become everything that God created me to be with the right tools, resources, and support. And so you make that investment truly into yourself. And it multiplies. Every area of my life has multiplied because of that investment. And these single moms who come into Hearts for Moms, because of who they're surrounded by, because of the mentorship, the guidance that they get. They might not be paying thousands of dollars for a mastermind, but they are investing because they have to put in the work, and the accountability is there, and they have to put in the commitment. And so it is still an investment. It just looks different in different levels.
And don't underestimate what God can do in a group of people like that. Yeah. You started in the mastermind going one direction, and God completely pivoted it and multiplied it. And here we are 4 years later. You're a completely different person inside and out, and your purpose and your plan and your destiny and where you're going is so much greater than when you came into it.
It's so true. It really is. And I say it all the time. It is in large part. It's first and foremost Jesus and my time spent with him. That's where everything comes from. But even that has grown because I've been around women who have called me higher and pointed me to him. But it's in large part because of the community, because of the mentorship, because of the guidance, and because of the people that we're around. And so we just really want to just encourage you guys, if you are feeling in a place like we were, where you just are a little bit stuck, you feel, I know I'm guilty, and I think I mentioned this already, but it's easy for me to isolate and just kind of stay in my little bubble and fight my way out of whatever I'm working through. And Jonathan and I come together and we're like, all right, we got this. It's going to get better. We're going to have all the answers soon. We're going to know what's next soon. But yet that is true, but I feel like it's exponentially multiplied, and there's so much more clarity and peace and joy and breakthrough when you get in the right room, when you get around the right people, when you make the sacrifice to be in the right place. And so we just want to encourage you, like, don't stay isolated. Don't think you can do it alone. Get around the right people. Invest in yourself. Invest in groups and masterminds and discipleship and coaching, and say yes to adventures with God, because you just never know what's on the other side. Follow the peace. Be open to the invitation, and you just never know what can come out of it.
And be flexible. If we were just so set in our ways that no, we're not going to, or the timing's not right, or we have this or that, or whatever the excuse that we come up with, like, if we're not flexible, my grandfather once said, blessed are the flexible, for they shall not be broken. It's one of the additional beatitudes that they left out of the Bible.
Yep.
Blessed are the flexibles, for they shall not be broken.
And go ahead, sorry.
No.
It's even launching our investment fund. That having our fund has helped. There's so many people that have come to invest with us that have said, we've been looking and praying for this exact thing. Thank you. They're so grateful for the passive income every month. They're so grateful to be a part of our fund. That fund was launched because we paid a lot of money to be in a mastermind in a group of people that had already launched funds and that had the legal support and the teams and the knowing and the education behind teaching us everything that we needed to know to launch an investment fund.
Yeah, there's no way we could have launched the fund in 6 months like we did.
No.
Had we not been in a group surrounded with the support and the know-how and the framework and everything.
And even just having the vision for what's possible when you're surrounded by people who have already gone there or are already there.
Yeah, that are doing it.
And you're like, oh, I'm not crazy. This is actually a real thing.
Yeah.
And so that just really, and then I say that to say, had we not done that, look at all the people who already, and we're just getting started. The fund is growing every month. Just imagine the people on the other side of our yes, to invest in ourselves, to invest in growing, to invest in doing something that big with the right people around us. The people on the other side of it is really the multiplication factor. It's why we multiply. We don't just multiply for the sake of multiplying. We multiply because there's people on the other side of our yes that are waiting because they also need what we have or what we can impart into them or what we can give them or share with them or guide them to or show them what's possible.
And if you're listening to this, I want you to know that there's people waiting on the other side of your yes. Mm-hmm. If there's something that you've been thinking about or dreaming about, stop holding back. Like, fortune favors the bold. Jesus didn't die on the cross for us just to get to heaven one day. Yes, he did die that we can get to heaven one day and live with him, but he died to set us free. And so many of us don't understand or are not walking in the authority that he died to give us. So I just want to encourage you today that if that's you, if you're thinking about something or something's been holding you back, like cast that away. Pull down the stinking thinking and just go for it, because you just never know what's on the other side of your yes.
Yeah, and just to circle it back to Angela Ball with Hearts for Moms and my friend and mentor Brooke Thomas with the Live Out Loud community, both of those women were a perfect example of years ago saying yes to something God put on their heart that they had no framework for. It was never on the radar, but yet they felt something and they saw vision for it and they said yes. And thousands of people on the other side of that yes have been blessed in multiple ways. And so, I'm learning from them. That's speaking to me right now and some of the things God is showing me and asking me to do. I never want to leave anything on the table that God has for me to accomplish or wants to invite me to partner with him in. So we hope that encourages you, and we'd love for you guys to be sure if you're listening to this, let us know you're listening. We'd love to know when people are listening by either commenting on wherever you're watching or listening, leaving us a review or a like. Share this with your people who you think that this would encourage and bless in any way. And of course, we're here. We're real people. Reach out to us. Send us a DM. Send us an email. Make sure that you're connecting with us if this spoke to you. Anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one.
Before you go, remember, God can use anything. Even the hardest parts of your story can become seeds for multiplication.
If this episode encouraged you, share it with a friend, leave a review, or subscribe so you never miss a moment of hope and truth.
You can also follow us on Mandate to Multiply on Instagram or mandatetomultiply.com to keep growing with us.
Until next time, trust God, steward well what's in your hand,
and live a life fully multiplied.